Hi everyone, my name is Shubhangi Sarunke. We are going to see the third chapter of highway engineering, that is construction of the road pavement, for 16 marks. Till now we have studied about the material and the test conducted on it. Now in this video we are going to study and understand what is road pavement. We are going to define it. We also see the type of the road pavement, the structure components of the pavements and their functions. Road pavement. So what is road pavement? A layer structure supported by a subgrade soil to form the carriageway of the road is known as a road pavement. It means the road is made up of a different type of layers, that layers of different material like an aggregate, boulders, etc. And that layer is placed on one above the other, and the whole layer is been placed on a subgrade soil, means on a ground level which is well compacted to form a carriageway, means to carry the vehicle on the road, is known as the road pavement. What is the purpose of this pavement? The first purpose is to carry the vehicular load of uh, heavy vehicle load of the vehicular traffic. The road we construct, the main aim is to obviously to carry the vehicular load. Whichever may be the vehicle, that load should be bearable by our pavement. The second is distribute the vehicular load over a large area of underlying subgrade soil. The various layer will do, the various layers will transfer their load on the different layers under it, and finally the final load will be distributed to an subgrade soil. What subgrade soil will do, it will distribute a load throughout the area so that the road should not deform and bear the traffic load. The third point is to provide a smooth surface. It means while we are traveling or while the vehicle is traveling on our road, we should get a smooth surface. We should not get any deflection or any pothole or any defects on the road, so that it can be problematic for traveling purpose. So our road should be smooth for traveling purpose. Now, what is the main requirement of the good road pavement? First, obviously, it should be cheap and easy to construct. If it is a cheap, so it should be economical and also easy to construct. It should not be any complicated while constructing. If it is a complicated, then we need a very well uh, experienced workers, which are very rare. So, so the construction step should be very easy, and at the same time it should be cheap. Then the next point is it should be suitable to all type of traffic. Whichever traffic may be travel on our road, that should be suitable to that road or to that traffic. Then it should be strong and durable. Our pavement should be strong and durable. It should not deform or change its shape because of the load which is on it or because of the climatic condition. It should provide a good visibility at night. Whenever the vehicle light fall on the road, it should reflect at night. It should shine at night. If we can't see a road at night, then the major part is uh, we can go to one accident. So it should not happen because of that. Though the visibility of the road at the night should be good. The maintenance cost must be low. If we use a good quality material and also if we follow the construction steps, then obviously the maintenance cost will be low. If we are not following the construction steps or we are not using a good quality of material, then obviously the defects will be seen within a year. If the defects is seen, then obviously the maintenance cost will be increased. If maintenance cost is increased, then that road is not economical. So the road should be economical, so the maintenance cost should be low. Rider must be safe and comfortable. Obviously, whatever road we are constructing, our main motto or our main aim is we should be whatever the traffic has been traveled on that road, that should be safe, and at the same time that should be very comfortable for traveling also. So the road should be on equal level, and the defect should be minimum, or if there is no defect, that is well and good. Then this is very important part, the component part of the road pavement structure. This can become an exam for 5 to 10 marks. So we will see the various types of a layer and the material used for this layers. First, the first layer is that is a subgrade or a formation. The second layer is subbase. The third layer is base course or a foundation course. The fourth layer is base coat or intermediate course, and the last layer is wearing course. So we're going to see in detail one by one. The first component part is your subgrade. The subgrade is the lowest most part of the layer of the road. The finisher and the compacting surface of the earthwork on which the road pavement rests are called a subgrade or a formation. It mean it mean that this layer is made up of earthwork. Earthwork means the ordinary soil which is present on the site. What we are doing, we are going to level it to our required design part. Then whenever then after leveling or to an required, if we provide the required slope on the subgrade soil, then we are going to compact it, and after compacting whichever surface or whichever result we are getting, that is our subgrade soil. What is the main function of the subgrade soil? Is to provide a support to a road pavement, and the subgrade carry the entire load of the pavement including the load of traffic, because the road or the layer of different road is rest on this subgrade. Therefore obviously the entire load of the pavement or of the traffic it's going to be on or carried by a subgrade only. The next layer is your subbase. What is subbase? The subbase layer is made up of an granular material provided in between the subgrade and the base course. In the road pavement, it's called a subbase. This layer is between, obviously, above the subgrade and below the base course. This layer is made up of a granular material. What is granular material? Means it is of the big size stones or a big size aggregate. Okay, what is the main function of this subbase? The main function of this layer is to improve the bearing capacity of the subgrade. If we provide the boulders or a big size aggregate, obviously the bearing capacity will increase, means it should not deform. The our road is not deformed because of this, or whatever the load is coming because of the traffic or different layer, or because of the climatic change, it can bear it, and that's why the bearing capacity of the load will increase. To improve the drainage and keep a check on capillary rise of the subsoil water. What is capillary rise? Capillary action means in the ground surface you can find some water is there. That water after a rainy season it will tries to come out. It will tries to come out by an upward direction. If it is coming by an upward direction, then obviously the difference layer will get affected, because of the underground water. So to resist that, it should not come to a different layer of our road. So we should rise the capillary rise of that water below the subgrade only, or at the subbase part. Because of that, obviously the drainage of our road is going to be increased. The next coat or a next layer is our base course. What is base course? It is a layer of a boulders or a broken bricks provided in a double layer over a subbase and immediately over the subgrade in the absence of subbase. On the road pavement is known as a base course. It means it is which material used in this layer, that is the boulders or a bricks. Okay, we it this layer is made up of two, that is double layer, and that double layer is placed immediately. Maybe if we are using for a double layer, then it will be immediately above your subgrade. If we are using only single layer, then it will be above your subbase. Okay, what is the function of this layer? The function of this layer or a base course is to withstand his high shear stress develop due to impact of the traffic on the wearing course, to act as a foundation to a road pavement which transfer the load over the pavement surface to an subbase and subgrade. Obviously, each and every layer, the main function is to transfer the load, and the second function of this layer is whatever because of the traffic load, whatever the shear stretch has been coming, that should be wear or that should be bear by this layer. Okay, the next is a base course. What is base coat? In a base coat, there is a hard stone provided between the base course and the wearing course in the road pavement is known as the base coat. Okay, the base coat is obviously between your base course and the wearing course, and that what is the function of this layer? To transfer the load over the large area of the base course and to act a layer of transmission material. Transmission material means obviously the boulders vagera, whatever maybe the boulders we are using on the base course, that boulders is of bigger size to fill that voids which are in between the boulders. We are using a small aggregate or a layer of a soil, so that the voids between the boulder should be filled by this material and water should not resist or should not be accommodated over that area. So this is a main function. Not only that, it's also going to transfer the load which have been coming on the wearing course, that has been transferred to an base coat and then to a base course. The next and the very important is your wearing course. What is wearing course? The topmost layer of the road pavement directly exposed to traffic is known as wearing course. Okay, means whatever you have seen, which type of a road is that, whether it is made up of bitumen or it is made up of cement concrete road, that layer is known as your wearing course. What is the function? The main function of the wearing course is to provide the impermeable layer, then to avoid the entry of a water to and base course. Whatever water or because of the rainfall, the water is coming on the road pavement, it should not go inside your road. If it is going inside your road, that is in a different layers of the road, then obviously the strength of that layer is going to be loose, and the you can see the defects in the various layers. So to avoid that, we are going to see that the wearing course should be impermeable, meaning it should not allow the water to go inside your road. It distribute safely the traffic load over the base course. Also, the main function of the wearing course is to distribute, or whatever the load is coming on the wearing course is going to be distributed on under its layer or it's going to be transferred to an under its whatever the layer is under the wearing course. It acts as an impermeable layer, thus avoid the entry of water to an base course. Obviously, if soil catch water, then it will lose its strength. To not lose its strength, we are going to see that whatever the water is falling because of the rainfall or any other thing, that should be go to an drainage, side drainage. It should not go intermediate layer of our road. Then the type of payments. The types of payment, there are two type of payments. First is a flexible payment and second one is a rigid payment. What is a flexible payment? The road payments which can change the shape to some extent without rupture are known as a flexible payment. It means a flexible payment which can't be break. The flexible payment, because of the vehicular load, the flexible payment will not break, but flexible payment can change their shape. Rupture means a crack or a break. Means in a flexible payment, they can change their shape because of the traffic load or because of the weather condition, but it will not break easily. But what is a rigid payment? The rigid payment, the road payment which can't change their shape to some extent with the rupture are known as a rigid payment. Means the rigid payment uh, cannot change their shape because of the vehicular load or because of the climatic condition, but it will break, means it will form a rupture. For example, the flexible payment is a bitumen payment. Bitumen payment can change their shape, but it can't break. And in a rigid pavement, the example is a cement concrete road. In a cement concrete road, we can see it break, but it can't change its shape. We can see the cracks and everything on the cement concrete road, but there will be no deformation in the cement concrete road. We can see the difference between that. In a flexible pavement, the grain to grain load is transferred, and in a rigid pavement, the slab action take place. It means in a flexible payment, each and every layers or each and every material in that layer will take that load or bear that load. But in a cement concrete road or in a rigid road, you can see only the slab is the one important layer which bear the load. Then initial cost is low, the initial cost is high. If we are going for flexible payment, obviously the material whichever we are choosing, obviously that is of low cost, so the initial cost is obviously going to be low. But if we go for rigid payment, that is for a cement concrete payment, the initial cost is high. Means if you buy a cement concrete or the if you want to construct it, the material, the equipment is obviously costly, so the initial cost is high. Then the third point is the joints are not required. As you can see in the bitumen road, there will be no joints, but in a cement concrete roads, you can see there is a various types of joint. With it is a longitudinal joint, transversal joint, but there is a joint. So joints are required in a rigid pavement. Then the durability is less, and in a rigid pavement, the durability high. Yes, obviously the durability is less in the flexible pavement, since the material life since the material we are using in the flexible pavement, their life is less than the cement concrete material. Therefore, the durability is high in a rigid pavement. Then the good subgrade is required. In the flexible payment, the subgrade part should be also very good, because each and every grain of the flexible payment is going to be take the load. Therefore, even the subgrade is should be of a good quality, whereas in a rigid payment, the good subgrade is not required, since the most of the load has been taken by a slab. So the uh, so It is okay if the subgrade is not good. Then the temperature variation has not any effects on the shear variation. Means if there is any temperature variation, then easily the flexible pavement can change the shape. But if we'll see for rigid pavement, obviously the temperature variation affect the shear variation. Means whatever the temperature will be changed, then your slab will be changed in the shape. But because we provide a joint, so it can be variable also to a cement concrete road. The lifespan is short, that is for a 15-year. The lifespan is long, that is for a 30-year. The repair work is easy, the repair work is tough. The maintenance cost is high, the maintenance cost is low. The maintenance cost, why the maintenance cost is high in the flexible pavement? Because the material which we are using is obviously of the less lifespan, and because of that we need to maintain it routinely. We have to maintain it, we have to see it, therefore the maintenance cost is high. Whereas if you see for cement concrete road, since we are using a very good quality of material and the life of that material is also good, therefore the maintenance cost will be low. Then require a less curing time, require a more curing time. Obviously if you see for a flexible pavement or a bitumen pavement, then we do not require any curing time. Means we can use this road within a 24 hour. But if we go for rigid pavement, we need at least 7 days for curing, so the required time for the curing is very high. Then the poor night vision due to use of the bitumen, and the good night vision because of using of cement concrete road. No glare due to sunlight, high glare due to sunlight. If the reflection of sunlight is fall on the flexible pavement, then there should not be any much reflection in the flexible pavement, whereas in the rigid pavement there is a reflection of the sunlight if it fall on the rigid pavement. Easy to locate the underground work like a pipeline, etc. Difficult to do the underground work. Yes, obviously, even though the flexible pavement road has been constructed, then also at some point you can remove it, you can fix your pipes and everything. But if but for rigid pavement, it is not possible. If you constructed one slab, you can't remove it and you can't place the pipes or anything, so it is difficult. The thickness is more, the thickness is less. Since the thickness is more in the flexible pavement, why? Because we are using more layers and more material, while in the rigid pavement the thickness is less because the main load has been taken by slab, so the thickness of the other layer is less. The design depend upon the subgrade strength. The design is not depend upon the subgrade strength. Then the stability depend upon the aggregate interlocking, particle friction and cohesive, whereas the stability depend upon the joints between the slab of the concrete. Because in the flexible pavement each and every grain or each or every material is taking the load, therefore the function or the character of each and every grains are considered in the flexible pavement, while in a rigid pavement only the joints has been considered because the stabilities depend only upon the joints between the slabs. For a flexible pavement, you can refer IRC 37, and for rigid pavement, you can refer the IRC 58. That is all about the pavement. That is a road pavement, different layer used in the road pavement, the material used for the road pavement, and the last one is a type of road pavement. Thank you everyone.